This is the Wildflowers of Wisconsin. I connected with Kirsten via Instagram, and Kirsten was the brains behind the entire installation. She created the patterns. We then made the patterns free and accessible to the community thanks to our sponsors. We had all of the materials available. We held monthly workshops in different neighborhoods all throughout Madison. This was happening all last year in order for us to be ready for the unveiling. Kirsten, you're amazing. I'm so proud of you. The level of artistry and detail that you sent me throughout the entire process. She was texting me and saying, what about this and what about that? And sending me updates and pictures. And I'm looking at all of them going, I don't know, it's amazing. Like, come on, it's so sick. The shading, the colors, the layers, the shimmer of the pollinators, so special. All of the thought, all of the care that you put into each design is so inspiring, and not only to me, but I'm sure to everyone standing here watching. You made it with so much love and so much more care than I ever could have imagined. Thank you so much. Kirsten Darling is a neurodivergent spoonie based in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. She lives there with her husband and beloved pit bull. They named Darlin. Darling began sewing and in elementary school and started then dabbling in many other art forms at a very young age. By her teenage years, she was receiving formal training at the High School for the Arts and went on to receive her formal fine art degree in arts education. She's been knitting and crocheting since 2011 and has a background in social work as well. She finds creative inspiration from the world around her and makes unique and unexpected fiber arts that bring joy and laughter to the world. You can find her at her finishing service, that is Weave in My Ends at Ends Woven, and weaveinmyends.com. So, would you like to say a few words about your experience making the patterns and working with the project, creating all of the flora that we see here today and the pollinators?
Yeah. Like Jillian said, I've been an artist my whole life, but it wasn't until 2011 that I got into the fiber arts by learning to knit while working at an after-school program for at-risk youth in Chicago. I picked up crochet in 2015, and I'm completely self-taught in the craft. I also spin my own yarn, sew, run a fiber arts finishing service called Weave in My Ends, and make swag for other makers. Just over 9 years ago, I woke up with a headache that never went away. 7 months later, the pain and other symptoms were so debilitating that I couldn't work or drive. I never could have imagined that I'd become disabled in my late 20s, or that I'd spend most of my 30s at countless doctors' offices trying to figure out what happened to my body. Throughout all of this, though, one of the saving graces has been fiber arts. Crochet and knitting has helped me going through years of pain, medical uncertainty, and accepting that I am disabled while navigating what that means for my future. It can be extremely isolating to be disabled, as I spend most of my days on the couch or bedridden. Knitting and crochet are one of the few things that I can do even if I am in a significant amount of pain, and making something and feeling productive can really do so much to lift one's spirits. It has been even more wonderful to find robust fiber arts communities online and in person. Yarn has this wild way of bringing people together from all walks of life, and I've connected with so many wonderful people through the fiber arts. I'm so grateful that Jillian and the Madison Public Art Project found me on social media and gave me the opportunity to create this large-scale crochet mural. Throughout the past year, I've had so much fun exploring and challenging my creativity by designing these crochet flowers in a way that were somewhat realistic, but that could also maintain their integrity when faced with Wisconsin winters, and that were written to be beginner-friendly patterns. It was such an honor to be able to share my designs with the Madison area community. All of the smaller flowers you see here, so the black-eyed Susan, the blue violet, and then the swamp milkweed and the butterfly milkweed are the two over on the end, are all of the patterns that I designed that we had the community help us make. And I am amazed at the generosity and talent of this community. One petal on a black-eyed Susan takes about a half an hour to crochet. And we have 14 black-eyed Susans with 10 to 12 petals each. So that's over 75 hours just of the yellow petals. Now, if you multiply that by, and carry the one, I'm an artist, I'm not a mathematician. What I can say is that this mural is truly a labor of love from every single person involved. The huge echinacea you see in the center, the big pink one, along with our fun sparkly pollinators and Win, are all free-handed by me. No notes, no patterns, just me and the yarn. The echinacea is crocheted, holding 4 strands of yarn at once with a crochet hook wider than my thumb. Brought it with me. It's nice and big. I was swimming in pink yarn for a good month or 2 and definitely built some muscles manhandling those petals, but it was all so much fun. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out to celebrate the opening of this mural with us. I'm so excited to finally be able to share the end result of this year-long project with the community. I also want to thank all the community members that helped make this project a reality, along with Safira for running the community crochet workshops and Karen for helping with them, and both ladies for all their work in helping assemble all of these final pieces and install this beauty. And of course, thank you to Jillian and the Madison Public Art Project for the vision and support to make this project come to life and brighten the community space.
Let's keep going. There's another super special, talented artist that made this project possible. Safira Fifi is an interdisciplinary Madison-based artist who's been using Crayola crayons since enjoying her first coloring book at the age of 5. She works in an array of mediums, including watercolor, metals, acrylics, painting, and crochet. Ms. Fifi facilitated the monthly crochet sessions over the past year on this project and is happiest when she's with her friends and her family, enjoying them and all to find joy in her art. Your patience and dedication each month inspired me. You were our ringleader. You led every community crochet day workshop with such poise and such grace. You are a silent warrior. You're amazing. She often did it alone with more than 20 or so participants, and everyone had questions and needed help. And we were all over the city of Madison, as I mentioned, in every neighborhood.
So, hello everyone. My name's Safira Fifi, and yes, as Jillian has said, I'm one of the artists who took charge of facilitating workshops to help the community crochet these wonderful, vibrant Wisconsin wildflowers. And I also assisted in assembling these one-of-a-kind pieces. Now, normally I am a multitasker, folding laundry, watching Korean or K-dramas with subtitles on Netflix. However, since I couldn't understand Korean, I became a monotasker, which in the corporate world is kind of like the new trend where you have to focus on one task at a time. So crochet was kind of like the main thing I had to focus on when you're reading a pattern, because if you miss a stitch, it messes up the whole flower and the petal. Now, crocheting is very special to me in that it's one of the many tasks I learned from my mother when I was a young girl. Ma, she's here somewhere. There she is. She's the most talented person I know. Very gifted in that back in the day, I don't know if you remember on PBS, there would be, those craft shows where they teach you how to sew and crochet and knit. She would watch and learn and execute without back in the day, there weren't any, stopping or DVRing or anything like that. Whereas today you have YouTube, you can pause and then, do it and then rewatch it and do it over again. So she is a very talented mom who taught me, had a lot of patience to teach me. I'm very grateful for her. I actually stopped crocheting when I was a little girl, and maybe about 15, 20 years later, Jillian had this wonderful project. And I immediately said, hey, I crochet. And then I regretted it the minute I said it because...
What?
Yeah. Okay. I regretted it. And then she's like, hey, I'm looking for someone to facilitate some workshops. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. So I scrambled in 1 week to relearn everything and learn how to read the patterns that Kirsten developed and created and taught people. And it worked. I was like, okay, maybe I have a knack of teaching. So went along with it. For those who came to my workshops, you might remember my style of teaching. For example, I would tell you, okay, you've got two ways to hold a hook. You can hold the crochet hook like a pencil, like as if you're writing, or you can hold it like a jackknife as if you're stabbing someone. And it worked. Like, people found their niche and, you know, figured out their mechanics of crocheting. Now, I'm really, really happy that the mural has finally come to fruition, and I just want to thank everyone, the community, everyone that came to the workshops, and everyone that came to help assemble and put it up on the mural. And yeah, pretty much thank you for everything.
One more artist to thank, and this is Karen Jans, our wonderful workshop teaching assistant. Karen's artist statement reads, "For as long as I can remember, I have always had the desire to create art and crafts. At an early age, I began to draw and took as many art classes as possible while in school." She is a self-taught crocheter, and her practice also includes watercolor paintings, greeting cards, and she sells them at many local craft markets, also specializing in her amigurumi characters, and teaches private crochet lessons as well. When she's not crocheting, you can find her traveling with her husband Justin around the world, reading or baking up some delicious treats. Karen, do you want to share a few words about your Wildflowers of Wisconsin?
So this project kind of fell into my lap one day. I got a message on Instagram from Jillian inquiring about this project, and I at first had never heard of the Madison Public Art Project, and I did a little more research and got invited to the first crochet lesson workshop, and I really enjoyed it because I usually just do the amigurumi crochet. I make little cute food animal crochets and sell them with my business, Crafty Side of Karen, and got to meet Safira and Kirsten at the workshop and just really enjoyed it. And then I got the invite to help teach the workshops, which was a lot of fun. So it was a challenging project, I will not lie, but it was something fun and something different to do, which I've really enjoyed, and also helping teach people the patterns and help them out with it as well. The time has flown by because I didn't start with the project until the fall, and it's just been neat seeing some familiar faces come back to help out with the project and everything, and then just seeing the whole project come together has been amazing. And then also helping crochet all the flowers together, assembling them. It has been challenging because I'm a new mom. So between watching my little boy and trying to get all the flowers assembled before the deadline was quite the task, but I got it done, and it's been fun helping out with the install, and it's just been amazing working with these ladies as well and the community. So I've really enjoyed this, and it's sad that it's done, but I'm just very excited to see the final project come to completion.
And I just wanted to personally say thank you so much. Angela Kinderman, President and CEO of the Fitchburg Chamber Visitor and Business Bureau here in Fitchburg. A very special person who was a fierce advocate for us through this entire process. Thank you for your support and helping us realize this project, and thank you for all of the planning and all of the emails.
But I just want to say thank you to Jillian and Madison Public Art, and if you aren't familiar with Madison Public Art Project, I encourage you to check them out. This piece is so thoughtful too. She came to us, and it wasn't just, here's a nice place to put an interesting public art display, but it was thoughtful in the sense that she looked at who we are as a community, Fitchburg, our dedication to natural spaces and preservation of places like prairies and wildflowers, the names of each of the wildflowers, all of that really ties into our community, and we're really appreciative of that, and it just goes to show you how thoughtful you are in choosing your projects, and we really appreciate that. Public art is a critical piece of a thriving community, just as evidenced by when you walk by, bike by, drive by, and the smile on your face when you see this. So thank you to Jillian, and please check out Madison Public Art Project online.
Okay, well, we had some amazing sponsors that made this possible. Public murals support community pride and are an example of an investment in our public realm. I do believe it's new creative aesthetics like this that do make our city more enjoyable, more beautiful. The work educates, it inspires, it enhances the park experience that we all know and love, And it brought, in this case, so many countless neighbors even closer together. To all of you who shared in our vision, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you, it would not have been possible. This project was commissioned by the Madison Public Art Project with major funding from the American Family Institute for Corporate and Social Impact and the Pleasant T. Rowland Foundation. It was supported by the Dane County Arts and Cultural Affairs with an additional funding from the Endress Manufacturing Foundation, the Evju Foundation, the charitable arm of the Cap Times, and the Jerome Frautschi Foundation. We were supported by a grant from the Fitchburg Chamber and Business Bureau. Thank you so much to our generous premier sponsor, WPS Health Solutions, and our gold sponsors, MG&E Foundation, the Evju Foundation, and ProMega. Additional funding was made possible by our silver project sponsors. Thank you to Gunderson Funeral and Cremation Care and to Quivies Grove. Thank you to our bronze sponsors at Quick Trip, the PBJ Fund, a component fund of the Madison Community Foundation, to Joseph and Susan Boucher, and to the generosity of private donors. I also want to thank our in-kind sponsors, Noodles and Company. Thank you to Chocolate Shop Ice Cream. Thank you to BR Diamond Sweet, The Thirsty Goat, and Benuto's. These are local Fitchburg businesses that donated raffle prizes for you as the community, specifically for our opening. They're fun, they're delicious, they're beautiful. They wanted to support this project and more art in the environment. Thank you to our photo contributor at Will Travel for Art. There's going to be a special new collector release. Stay tuned. And thank you to all of our volunteers, to everyone, those of you here today, and so many more that didn't make it, that helped realize this. Our volunteers, we can't do it without you. We have art assistants always, so if you know of somebody who you think would be a good fit, send them our way. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to the Madison Public Art Project Board of Directors for steering this organization and your continued dedication and support. This mural is going to remain on view until summer 2025, so you're going to have a chance now to enjoy it in every season. Personally, I can't wait until the blanket of white snow comes and it's going to pop even more, as if that's possible with these beautiful colors. Have fun in Fitchburg. Make a day of it. Go to the splash pad. Get on the bike trail. Get your ice cream. Enjoy the restaurants here that are amazing. Have dinner at Quivies Grove. Get noodles at Noodles & Co. or the Thirsty Goat. They have a beer cheese soup that launched today for fall. It looks delicious. Or design a new piece at the Diamond Suite. Thank you, everyone.